Here we go. Princess of Death. That was one of the few remaining themes that Puccini had left behind in his sketches. The rest of them are sort of scattered about and kind of hard to decipher. This is what you have to deal with when you're trying to figure out what Puccini wanted. Look at this. It's kind of a mess. And he left all these melodic fragments behind, but they were all for the libretto that he had with this unsatisfactory ending that we've been working so hard to rewrite. And the libretto that Susan Stanton wrote makes a lot more sense, but Puccini's melodies no longer match that libretto because it's a completely different plot at the end now. So what do we do with all of these Puccini sketches, especially if you're a person like me who thinks Puccini is this god of melody and wants to use every single scrap that he left behind for us. So the key to doing this is we recontextualize them. Del Primo Pianto, My First Tears Flowing. This was a sketch that Puccini left behind that actually works great in both Alfano's ending and our own. In Alfano's ending, Turandot is moved to tears by the sight of Calaf, who's this magnificent prince. But in our ending, Susan has written a new plot twist, and I've written a new aria where we reveal that Turandot herself was actually raped as a young girl. And so now, these tears are no longer the tears of a young woman moved by the magnificence of a prince. They're now the tears of a girl who has been subjected to the most horrific experience possible. Oh, mio fiore mattutino, mio fiore mi respiro, I seni tuoi di Giglio. In the Alfano ending, that is sung right after Calaf plants a kiss on Turandot, without her permission, by the way, and suddenly she magically falls in love with him. And it's pretty ridiculous. So in our new ending, we've created a flashback scene where Princess Turandot suddenly sort of remembers this trauma from her childhood. And off stage, you hear sort of this disembodied voice floating in, and it's singing this exact melody. Oh, my rare unfolding flower, thy fragrance I am breathing, thy bosom white as marble. And so we've changed the context of it now. No, it's no longer Prince Calaf sort of saying these sugary words to her after he kisses her against her wishes. Now it's actually the voice of an attacker forcing himself on some poor victim off stage. And that poor victim is likely the Princess Turandot herself. And by doing so, we create a bit of a dialogue. We reframe sort of the way that rape was looked at 100 years ago when Alfano was writing his ending. And we say, no, that's not how we do things now. We can't just say, oh, it's okay to kiss somebody and then they'll magically fall in love with them. No, that is actually tantamount to sexual assault. And we are putting it in those terms